All right, let's continue. So nails, right? Projection of the skin. Fingernails, toenails are horny cell structures of the epidermis composed of hard keratin. So what, is this protein that gives the nails that hardness. Nail bodies, visible, dense mass of dead keratinized cells that cover the end of the fingers and toes. Body, okay, nail bed. Let's see. Okay. The nail root, epithelial fold, not visible, cuticle, underlying vessels give the nail its pink color. The white crescent-shaped area of the nail is a lunula, the little moon. That's what I talked about. Nail growth may vary with age, disease, hormone deficiency, so that could tell you something about a person. So again, here's a nail. This would be a superior view, right, looking down at it. This would be a lateral view looking from the side, right, and we have a section through the nail. So it's kind of neat in these slides to give you some FYIs. Yeah, really want to know about this. By age 50, approximately half of all people have some gray hair. Scalp hair thins in women and men, okay? Older women having increased facial hair, right? Hormones change, that can change their skin, even less secretions, etc. So now some more, so skin was a biggie, then hair, then nails. Now, how about the glands that are found in the skin? So sebaceous glands are the oil glands, right? Oil secreting glands, tiny ducts. It's called sebum, the secretion. It's kind of oily. And again, it varies with age, puberty, and pregnancy, right? You can have different secretions. Sudoriferous, those are the sweat glands. These coil tubular glands are distributed over the entire surface, with the exception of the lips, glans, penis, and inner surface of the prepuce. So that shows you some of the things. And again, you could see those in the picture of the cross-section of the skin. Two types of sweat glands. Actually, there's more than two. So they talk about the ones around the armpits versus the ones on the palms and hands. And cools off, gets rid of waste through the pores of the skin. So now, after, there's in your book, there's a huge section talking about issues with skin. Take a look at it. And I think I'm going to make a list to say, really pay attention to certain parts because it seems like there's so much, right? So dermatology, we're looking at skin. Dermatologist would be a doctor, specializing in skin. And if you look in the book and here in the slides, there's all kinds of stuff, right? Acne. What is acne? So sudden onset, inflammation, it depends, different types. This looks just horrible, right? Where the glands, get infected, and then you get acne, and some people could get acne really bad. So dermatitis, so inflammation of the skin. Alopecia, that's where the the hair thins, right? So there's different things here. Basal cell carcinoma. Carcinoma, we're talking about cancer, yeah? All kinds of skin cancers. Most skin cancers are very treatable. Melanoma is the bad one. Melanoma is the really bad skin cancer. So here they talk about that. Where do carcinomas frequently occur? Nose, eyelid, cheek. Interesting. You don't think about that. Also ear. People can get carcinoma on the ear. Basal cell carcinomas account for 80% of skin cancers, but they're generally slow growing, okay? And so can be surgically removed. It's the melanoma, that's the bad one, which is very invasive and grows very quickly. Oh, that looks horrible, doesn't it? Spider bite, right? So you can see this ulcer, right? It's necrosis, right? So the tissue death. And then you can see that in the hand here. Ooh, tick, really. Ectoparasite, right? Parasite on the outside. Flea bites. Beulah, we're talking about oh, what are they called? What are they called? I can't think of the word. Blisters, right? So how do blisters happen? If the epidermis, remember the epidermis, the dermis, and if there's could be fluid filled in between there and the epidermis kind of raises. Here, burns, please do pay attention to burns. What are the differences? First degree, it would be, you know, the epidermis, second degree dermis, and third degree, we're down into like going through all that layer and getting into the hypodermis. So, yeah, this would be really bad. And again, the problem with this is infection. Shows you a second degree burn. You could see all of the blisters here, really painful. Okay. Oh, candidiasis, that's caused by a yeast. Babies can get this. Carbuncle. So just a lot of different issues that they have here. Dermatitis, poison ivy. They talk about poison ivy in this chapter. I'm kind of going quickly. I know I am. You can always pause. And again, this is in your book. Staph, people can get staph infections. Oh, herpes, right? So there's different types of herpes. Here you can see it, oral herpes, around the mouth, hives, impetigo, right? Oh, keloid, that's a lot of scar tissue. Yes. So you can see that. Here it is. Here's the melanoma. This is the bad stuff, right? So this is cancer, and it's the melanocytes, the melanin producing cells. And it says cancer that develops in the pigment cells of the skin. And there's something called the ABCD rule. Make sure you look at that. That's on page 105. A is asymmetry, so it looks asymmetrical. It's not like a nice round mole, it's asymmetrical. That might be a sign that it's cancer. B is the border. See how the border, right, is kind of jiggity jaggedy? That might be a sign that it's cancerous. C is color. See how there's different types of colors? That's not a good sign. And finally, D is diameter. So if there's a mole and it grows really quickly, it's changing, that might be a sign that it's not a good mole. This would be a normal, quote, healthy mole, okay? Oh, here, right, fungus of the nail. Ooh, this is nasty. This is lice, okay? Yeah. Psoriasis, that's inflammation here. Chronic skin condition, frequent episode of redness, itching, thick, dry scales on the skin. Rosacea, you guys have probably heard of that, where the skin gets red. Scabies, ooh, contagious skin disease characterized by papules, vesicles, pustules, burrows, intense itching caused by a mite. This is aging skin. Here they show skin and different issues with skin. A pustule, a wheal, erosion, ulcer, papule, fissure like a crack, a vesicle, fluid sac. Oh yes, here's some more cancer of the skin. Okay, here striations. These are stretch marks. Okay, so this, let's see. Ulcer, that's horrible. Varicella, chickenpox, ooh, that's not nice either. Plantar wart, okay, so we're talking on the heel, on the foot. So those are just some examples of skin conditions. You can look at them, get familiar with them. I think I'm going to make a list of things you really should pay attention to. So skin conditions, it says can be acute, chronic, local, or systemic, right? Drug highlights. Please do take a look at the drug highlights. You have this on page 119. So things that we could put on the skin: emollients, keratolytics, local anesthetic agents, antihistamine, right? pruritic, antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, other drugs. So these are all things that could be used for the skin to help with the skin. Some diagnostic tests, TB tests. We probably all had a TB test. If you haven't, you would if you're going to work in the health field. Scratch test, sweat test, zinc test, wound culture, biopsy, sedimentation rate. So these are things we can look at. And then finally, some abbreviations to look at. So for this chapter, please do we have homework, right? So I do want you to do the homework. And we're also going to have my lab, right, where I want you guys to work on that. And also look at the study and review in the chapter, because that will help you. So I hope this video helps. Do the study and review, do the homework, do the my lab. And we'll have that up on Canvas. Okay, good luck. Talk to you later.